So welcome everybody to our monthly call. For those of you who don't know, we do a call every second of the month. It's just start the month with a bang. We want to work as hard as we do at end of month, at the beginning of the month, because there's nothing more stressful than E-Suite at the end of the month. So if you work hard now, you'll be closer to your goal at the end. Just some quick, before we get started with Alicia, just some quick reminders. Sunday night calls are our corporate family call. Monday night calls are our Show Me the Money call. Show Me the Money calls are great to share with your potentials. Those links, either listen on the phone or online, can be found at www.myitworksevents.com. We do have a 30-day runners challenge going on right now in our team page. If you want to be a part of that, it's daily tasks, very short, sweet tasks, but amazing for your business. So if you want to be a part of that, please private message me or comment on the Family Body Rock team page, and we will get you in there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. I don't want to get too much on all of what's going on, but you guys can tune into the team page. I want to get right to the nitty-gritty and talk to Alicia. I actually met her on a leadership page, and she offered to thankfully save me on my very first One Team One mission that we hosted. Once you hit triple diamond and above, you can start hosting One Team One missions, inviting potentials out to those, inviting your team out to those. And she reached out and said, hey, I have a team in Philly too. Like, can I help you? And I'm like, please, yes. So that's how we met. I fell in love with her, and we see each other at events frequently. So I wanted you guys to hear her story and kind of go from there. So if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat throughout, and we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions at the end. So Alicia, will you just tell everybody, obviously, your name, where you're from, and how you got started?
Of course. Hi, you guys. My name is Alicia Waters, and I am a presidential diamond from Maiden, North Carolina. I started my It Works journey on, well, I was a loyal customer first, actually. The girl, I called corporate and wanted to purchase It's Vital. I was not interested in the wraps. I actually was looking for a multivitamin and started doing research with our local, health food stores and with my doctor. And lo and behold, I just did some research online and kept being referred back to our It's Vital product, but couldn't find a distributor or the resources to order it. So I called our headquarters, and at that time it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because this was early in 2011 and we were just relocating at that time. And I got through to Denise Walsh, who's now Black Diamond, and she was having a baby that very week. And she put me through to Nikki Moore, and Nikki Moore called me and she's like, oh, you want to be a rep girl? And I said, no. I really just want some information on how to get this product called It's Vital. Well, and she shared with me how to become a loyal customer and how that was the smart money and how you save 40% off if you become a loyal customer. And you guys, I'd been doing all this research and knew that I wanted to buy the product, but did not have the $29 in my checking account at that point to purchase the product that I knew that I wanted at $29. And she kept saying, you should be a rep girl, you make lots of money. Well, I wasn't interested in that. I was a single mom of 2 girls. And I also had no time. I was a wedding and portrait photographer, and we worked about 60 hours a week. So I was a loyal customer first. And then after using the wraps and the It's Vital for about 3 weeks after I was able to make that initial purchase, I kept seeing so many results. My friends and family started asking what was going on. What are you using? What's different? I had to fess up and tell them what I was doing, and then they all wanted it. So I took the last money that I had in my account and bought the kit. And little did anyone else in the world know, but that was the money that I had set aside for my power bill, my electric bill money for the month. So for weeks after that, I had to drive home. And when I was driving home, I'd have to drive past my house to go up the driveway. And I remember I was always still very frugal. Melissa and I were talking about that a minute ago. But I would always look at the doorbell because I have my whole house black and I wouldn't have the lights on to save money. But I would always look at the doorbell because I knew if the doorbell light was still burning, they had not cut my electricity off because I'd used that bill money to purchase my kit. But little by little, I kept wrapping people, and people started signing up as loyal customers. People started signing up as distributors, and the money came in fast and furious, and it was just an uphill, exciting climb from there. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah. No, I'm going to dig deeper into that story in a minute. Okay. A couple things I liked. One, you're a loyal customer first. So if y'all are... For 3 weeks, yes. So if y'all aren't taking care of those customers, you might be missing out. 2, I love that she kept saying, like, hey, you're going to be a rap girl. 3, you're from a small town, right?
Oh, it's tiny. Melissa, we have... I tease and I say we have 2 stoplights, 2 grocery stores, a Subway, and actually in our town now we have 2 presidentials, we have 3 doubles, and we have a diamond almost double. And you guys, our community consists of about 3,000 people. So it's really, really small, really small.
So I love the excuse that you don't, I'm from a small town, I can't blah, blah, blah. So the last thing I was going to say is you were very, very busy. So you're a full-time mom, full-time photographer. And I think that the fact that you didn't use your why as your excuse, and you said, I got out and I wrapped people. How big of a role did that play into your success? Can you kind of walk us through what happened when you started in like maybe the first 12 months?
Oh, yeah, this is crazy. Okay.
So,
the very first thing was I told Denise and I told Nikki, I will never speak in a public forum. You know, I'm not going to stand up and give speeches. I'm not going to do parties. I'm not going to do any of that. And of course they laughed at me, but I said, I'm not doing it. So I built to Ruby in, it was probably about 47 days doing one-on-one appointments. I would meet one-on-one with people, but that was really the only availability and time that I had to do it as well. We opened our studio at 10 a.m. I dropped my daughters off at school at 8. The studio was about 40 minutes from where I dropped off my kids at school. So what I would do is I would set my appointments for early in the morning, drop my girls off, go wrap someone, give them the presentation, say, leave it on. I would go work, and then I would get off work. I would go back by their house, unwrap them, either get their loyal customer agreement or get their distributor agreement, and then pick up my kids from, you know, wherever they had been at that point, and then go home. I did a little bit of posting on Facebook, but realized in 2011, Facebook was really in its infancy. We didn't really I mean, it was there, but I look back now on my time hop from 2011, and posts were so basic, and you know, and we barely posted once a day, much less, you know, 6 times a day. So I got in front of people and wrapped people, and one by one. I also had childcare available for me on Sunday afternoons for 3 hours. They went to a church program on Sunday afternoons. So a lot of my Sunday afternoons, I would do little gatherings. Like, if, you know, I built pretty fast because the first 3 people that I asked to become loyal customers became distributors instead of loyal customers. And there was nobody in my area. I mean, like, nobody knew anything about this. So we would just get together and have dinner and try to figure out what we were doing and like what we could do next. You know, we didn't have online trainings. You know, we had to meet with each other. And my upline was in Michigan. You know, it's like a long way away from here. So it was just that we were figuring out as we went along. So 47 days I went Ruby. And at that point, Denise Walsh contacted me and she said, I'm going to come to Charlotte. We're going to do a party for you. So I said, well, I'll get the people, but I told you I'm not standing in front of people and talking. So she came, and I had never done a party, so I didn't know how to do it. I was not a party girl either, like when friends asked me to do, you know, all those pure romance parties or pocketbook parties and those kind of things. I had always refused because, number one, I didn't have the money, and number two, I didn't have a house that I was proud of or, you know, a place to host it. So I hosted a party at a friend's hotel. A friend of mine had a hotel that she managed, and she let me host it there. And I had 12 guests, and Denise and I now call this the party from hell. And we got there in the room that we had been promised. We didn't get it, so we had to go from a conference room and pack all of us in a hotel room. Her baby was 8 weeks old, Owen, who was 8 weeks old. He screamed the entire time, didn't stop screaming the whole time. And it just went on and on and on from there. But guys, with a screaming baby, not the right accommodations, me not knowing what I was doing, we signed 3 distributors that night and like 7 loyal customers. And so it was fabulous. There's a lot, and you know, that happened in 2.5 hours. And I had spent pretty much the prior 2 months doing the same amount of results with a whole lot more effort. And then a light bulb went off. I went, we just signed 3 distributors and 7 loyal customers in less than 3 hours. I'm doing this again. And I mean, literally, she was holding a screaming baby and explaining the products and showing the Fat Fighter demo, and boom, people were buying. And I just was like, okay, I am going to do this. So I started doing a wrap party once a week. And by doing that, that was in May of 2011. October of that year, and really, guys, only working about 3 to 5 hours a week, I promoted to Diamond. And, you know, this is back in the day when there was no bonuses. We were so excited about going Diamond and what that residual income meant. The 2% bonus. We forget a lot of times that at every rank, there's a good bonus built into it. You know, at Diamond, not only do you get the 80 cabs, you get a 2% bonus override on all of your volume forever, for every month that you qualify as Diamond. So that's a huge bonus that everybody gets when they promote. So not only this month are you going to get $5,000 when you promote to Diamond, and you're going to get the leadership growth bonus of the $80 cabs for when you are adding new team members and they get commission qualified, but you're getting a 2% bonus over your whole structure. So that was from May to October. Well, then in November, a couple things happened. Number one, our whole entire eSuite computer system crashed. We had no back office. We didn't have a way to enter customers. We didn't have a way to see training. We didn't have a way to chart anybody. The only thing that we had was phone call into the company and wait on hold forever, or to fax things in. I mean, we're talking dinosaur days here. And I was so frustrated, and I was so burnt out, and I was so tired that I quit. I just told him, I said, I'm done. I can't handle this pressure anymore. Now, mind you, I had just promoted to Diamond like 3 days before this, okay? I was done. Then 2 days after that, my daughter, who was 15, called me crying and wanted to come live with me full time. Now, we had shared custody before that, but she called me and wanted to come and live with me full time. Well, without that It Works income, I couldn't have afforded to have done that. So I said, honey, you come home and live with me. So she came home and lived with me. And then, guys, 2 days after that, I walked into my full-time job that I loved, cherished, and was completely loyal to at 9 o'clock that morning, and at 11 o'clock that afternoon, I was let go. So my plan B money was now my plan A money. And so God had a plan and a path intended for me all along, and there's so much more to that. So that was in November of 2011. I went to conference 2012 as a Diamond. That was super exciting. There was only 3,000 people there in Tampa. We just, the size of the room where they do our store now is basically where we had our whole conference. And Mark announced the first time ever what we called the good bonus. And it was like Elvis was on stage. And I actually had 11 team members go with me to that original conference as a brand new Diamond. So the power of having them there was incredible. So wherever you are, getting to people to events, either the One Team One Missions like Melissa and I've done together, or green carpets, or we do have an upcoming It Works You, and I already know that there's people flying in from even Germany to come to the It Works U in Atlanta. So you definitely want to be a part of this because it's going to be at the Georgia World Conference Center that can hold like 25,000 people. So there's no excuse. It's not going to sell out. You need to get there. It's going to be the best thing next to conference, and that'll happen in January and February. So I went to that. Let's see, our conference, which is our annual convention once a year in Florida, in January. And by April, I had promoted to double diamond, and in May, I promoted to triple diamond. So in one full calendar year, I had gone through that whole life change, and single mom, broke, to making $10,000 a month average annual income as a triple diamond, and was scared to death, panicked. Like, my husband made me go buy a car the next year because I was making 10 grand, and I'm still driving a car that when it rained outside, it rained on the inside of my car too, because I was just so panicked about it. So, because the next year we promoted to presidential, and the good of this company just keeps on getting better. And every year now that we've been in for 5.5 years, my husband is a double diamond with the company. My 19-year-old daughter, she'll be 20 next week, is the double diamond with the company. I have another daughter. She's 16. She's not eligible yet, but she wants to participate somehow. My parents are building a team now, and they're in their 70s, retiring. So it's very much a family, exciting thing that we all get involved in.
I love it. Oh, so many crazy things. I love that you partied your way. I love that you were hit with obstacles and you fell down and got back up. And I know you're only allowed to use this excuse once a day, but would you mind sharing that? Are you comfortable sharing that?
Of course.
Okay.
So the journey continues. I had been a presidential diamond for about a year, and was given the opportunity to serve on missions with Ambassador Diamonds Nikki Moore and Rhonda Hartman. We made the decision to travel to Bangkok, Thailand, and work with some trafficking and some different situations, very, very heavy and very, very prominent in Asian countries, especially in Thailand. I didn't want to go on that trip. I really didn't want to go. And Chris and Nikki begged me. They offered to pay for my trip. They really wanted me to go. And, there was nothing about that trip that I wanted to do. Well, I went hesitant all the way up until the day. And, God was even saying, go, go, go. It's not that I was scared of traveling out of the country. My dad is an evangelist, and we have traveled to Central and South America every year, multiple times a year for a very long time. So I wasn't in fear. I just didn't feel the call to go, and I didn't really have any desire to go over there. But while I was there, I got sick, and I started feeling bad. Well, when I returned home, I'm very much a red personality. Have you guys gone through your colors and know, does everybody associate with what their colors are? I'm a no excuses, driven, focused, laser. I really am not good with sick people. I really don't have a lot of empathy, which is one of my weaknesses that I have to work on very strongly. But, I'm also one of these people that I don't go to the doctor. I refuse. I'm like, I'll get better. We're going to power through it. Well, I was home from Thailand. We were there for February. And in May, I was still struggling with not feeling so good. And I had to take my oldest daughter, Kayla, who's a college athlete, to get an EKG to be passed as a college athlete. While I was there, it was with our family doctor. He asked how I had been and how the trip was, because they had given me the immunizations to go on that trip. And I was like, Dr. B, it was awesome. I don't know that I would go back, but it was an amazing learning experience. I learned so much, and the culture is just incredible, and there's just a lot to learn in Asia. And I said, if I ever do get the opportunity to go back, I want to take my girls because I want them to see what that's like. And so I just said, I've been sick and my neck is swollen. Well, at that point, within the next 2.5, 3 weeks, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's follicular lymphoma. So I live now with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it was a panic in our family. It was a panic in our home. We didn't know what that was going to look like. We didn't know what that was going to feel like. And my daughter was graduated from high school. We were moving into a new 4,000 square foot home on 13 acres. We were getting ready to travel to Peru for 17 days, and I was just diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So we just had our world rocked, and they wanted to start treatment immediately. And I said, no, let's wait just a little bit. And he said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to Thailand with my family. And then as soon as I get, or excuse me, Peru. I said, as soon as I get back, I'm going to the beach. And as soon as I get back from the beach, we can start treatment. And he said, when will you be back from the beach? Now, mind you, this was the 1st of June. I said, I'll be back from the beach in September. We'll start treatment then. So we went to Dash that September and flew home early, and I started chemotherapy in September of 2014. And so even through treatments and being in the fusion center for all those weeks, I just tried to remember that this was part of my testimony and part of my journey. And even though I was scared, and I posted just recently, there was days that I would just go to my bathroom and hold on to the walls and just cry and go, God, I don't know what this is about, but I know you have a reason for this, and take me through this and let me know who I'm supposed to help with my testimony and with this journey. And you guys, I want you to know, through all those weeks of treatment, and sometimes I would tell my husband, I would say, keep me awake. I've got to help this girl get Fast Start qualified. Keep me awake. I've got to talk to this person about their promotion, because the medicine they would give me would sometimes make me sleep for about 40 hours. And even through that whole process, I want you to know the power of residual income. My check never dropped below $15,000 a month during all of that time that I was being treated. If I had to gone through that at my prior job, not only would I have been, physically devastated, we would be in financial ruins, because I was barely making it as it was. And just my medical bills outside of my insurance that year was about $17,000 that I had to come out of pocket with, plus the fact that I would have been out of work for that period of time. But grasping now the power of residual income and working right now, because I want to ask you, if you were hit with something devastating, would you have the ability to financially guide yourself through that? People say, well, I'll get financial help from the government. That doesn't happen like that. If your home was hit or your parents were hit, if you had a parent that was sick and you needed to stay out of work, you have the power to do that now with the residual income with this. So Melissa, you're right, and I don't use it as much anymore because I feel it's stronger than ever. My last reports have been fantastic. The greens are like my lifesaver. My oncologist and even oncology nurse now are both clients for our greens, and they don't even know that it's been improved yet. I go for a 6-month checkup next week, and I can't wait to tell them about the matcha tea that's now in there and some of the other improvements that we made with greens, because they loved it before, and they're going to love it even more now. So being a cancer patient with the greens and with the hair, skin, and nails has completely just been another 100% sign that God sent this business to me. And every part of it, there's just been tick, 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 tick reasons that this company has been such a blessing in our life.
I love it. I remember when I met you, someone was complaining to you, and you said, all right, I'm only allowed to say this once a day, my husband says, and you said, boo-hoo, I have cancer. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she just said that. Oh, we went out to dinner after the One Team, One Mission. Someone was complaining about something, and you said, boo-hoo, I have cancer. And I said, oh my gosh, and you were so high-spirited about it, and it made me fall in love with you. I actually met, I posted something about our past. A lot of people relate to our struggles, and I posted something about, because when we started, I had $20,000 in credit card debt and was working opposite schedule my husband. So it was like, hi, bye. And like, he would get mad at me because I was the one that always came home like at 5:20, not 5 o'clock. And he needed to leave right at 5 o'clock to be at work at 5:45. And so we were always like mad at each other and never saw each other. So anyways, I posted about my story and someone said, all right, that's it. I got to bite. Like, I am so tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul. My husband has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that's actually what I was like, I need to talk to Alicia and just kind of, it made me think of you again, you know, and that's where we're at now. So, so yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that.
This diagnosis is lifetime. Like, the only way that I would ever get a remission is through a cure. And I have bone marrow and bone involvement. So I'm not eligible for some of the stuff that other people are. And so that is why I will live with this till I die, whenever that can be. And they say it could be 5 years. They say it could be 36 years. And, you know, 36 years would put me at 80. So I'm going for that one.
Yes. We're pushing for 80 with you. We're going to make you a Green's Miracle Baby.
That's right.
Please be quiet. Sorry. My kids are always with me. So.
But I do believe, and I am a firm, you know, even and I guess it's a little bit about how I was brought up. And my ex-husband too had to say, you know, oh, it's 3 feet from your heart. Get up, you're not bleeding. Let's move and go. And I know that sounds harsh, but sometimes we let the smallest barriers in our life become amazing obstacles that, you know, could so easily be overcome, but we let them become larger than what they are. And you need to get up renewed, refreshed, and excited and motivated each and every day when you get up. And I realize how hard that can be when you're battling something, or you're struggling with finances or illnesses or sicknesses, or, you know, even fear. But know at the end of the day, if you tried your hardest and you don't let those excuses hold you back or get you down, then you have won. And be in the mindset that I am going to be a winner no matter what. And whatever you've got that you're facing, you have the ability and you have the power to overcome that. You might not know how right now, but you just get out there and start doing it and find a way and make a way to do it. And do not let those excuses be stronger than your why. And reassess that why each and every month. Wake up, you know, yesterday was the first of the month, and one of the tasks that I have my team do is I want to see what your why is for the month, because they do change as you grow and you progress. Or, you know, last week my father resigned from his job and took a $70,000 hit from, you know, what his finances look like. And I all of a sudden went, oh, I've got to help them, you know? And so in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 days have built my mom to Ruby. So, you know, be stronger than your excuse would be. I should have worn my no excuses shirt tonight. I didn't know we were going in this direction. But anyway, be stronger than your excuse. Yeah. And, you know, like my husband says now, he's fabulous, and he's a yellow, and it's a very, very good thing that he's a yellow. But he says you can use that cancer card 1 time a day, but other than that, you got to power through and you got to work it out and you got to figure it out. And, you know, I normally use it for things like dishes. So
that would be me. You need to clean the house. I can't. No. That's too funny. Okay, so just some questions that came to mind for me. And again, if you guys have specific questions you have for her on how she built her business, what she does each day, whatever, just feel free to put it in the chat. Some questions that came to mind with me, because you talked about the $5,000 good bonus, or sorry, $5,000 bonus this month for those that go diamond. So I know, okay, so here, let's say I'm at distributor rank and I push this whole month and I go ruby and I'm like, dang it, I did not get that diamond. What would you say to me? Okay. I want to give up because I did not get that diamond bonus. What would you say to me?
Oh, I didn't either. So, guys, the bonuses are fantastic. And just like I explained a minute ago, every time you promote, there's a bonus. even when there's not a big, big money number out there, because you get additional money throughout the compensation plan. And the reason to build is not necessarily for these bonus, but for the residual income that's going to change your life. That monthly income that's going to come each and every month. I earned a $50,000 good bonus 2.5, 3 years ago. And when it paid out, it was gone. I couldn't rest on the laurels of that bonus anymore. So I build for the residual income, and I build for the prize at the end. And if you've built to Ruby and you've built strong, then you need to be excited, because you're earning an average of $300 to $500 extra a month that you didn't have a month ago. And know that based on that, you can do it again, because it only takes 2 rubies underneath you to go to the rank of emerald. And an average emerald is earning an extra $10,000 a year. And then you can go diamond. And diamond is like what Mark says, it's like your own license to print money. So you definitely want to keep building. Now, there are tons of YouTube videos you can get with Barb Hauser, who built to diamond in 9 days. 9 days. That's the company record. So if she can do it, and I know Barb, like, she's a sideline sister of mine, and she's amazing, but she's no different than any of us, okay? But she poured in and in 9 days promoted to diamond. You could go to Mackenzie Schultz, who has a YouTube video, who built to double diamond. Average income of $54,000 a year in 28 days. And guys, she just put out a YouTube video this week that tells you almost step by step, and even what to do, when to wrap, when to post. And I will tell you that both of those girls did it fast, and they did it with a solid combination of parties and social media. So it wasn't just social media, and it wasn't just parties, but she was doing both. They both were doing both. The power of getting the wrap on the people. And if you're trying to go fast and you want that diamond bonus this month, you're
Oh, it looks like it's breaking up a little bit. Is anyone else? Is it just me breaking up? Ooh.
and working with them, she built that double diamond team structure. So no matter where you are, if you get to Ruby, celebrate it, and then keep on pushing and keep on pushing. I've been wanting ambassador for a very long time, and I've been close before and missed the mark, but it's never stopped me, and it's never been at a point that I would ever want to give up on that. A lot of us go, and I know that I went to college for 4.5 years and paid a lot of money to do something in 4.5 years to get a job that was going to pay me $24,000 a month. So if you have to spend a year or 2 years, or if I have to spend 10 years to get to the rank of ambassador, it's going to have been worth it, because at no place would I've ever been able to go to school or get a job that has taken me this amount of time to achieve that kind of goal, and still get to be a stay-at-home mom and travel the world. I mean, tomorrow I'm going shopping in Atlanta with girlfriends. I'm going to come home on Friday. I have a party on Saturday morning, and then I'm headed to the beach and go spend some time with my parents. This is not a life that most people can live. And I get to work from hotel rooms. I get to work from my home. I get to work from the beach. And I do work a lot, but I'm paid very, very well. And it's not too bad working when you're, poolside or beachside, or, shopping in some of the really cool stores in Atlanta. So it's definitely worth it. So don't ever give up. The only way you can ever mess up in this business is to give up and to lose hope. Just stay at it. And if you would work just each and every day, just on one concept or one new thing, blitz one new person. Denise says right now, and Denise is a mass recruiter. I was astounded when she came and spent some time with me earlier this spring. And she brought me her spreadsheets of her 2015 enrollments. And she enrolled 289 distributors in 2015. And every single one of them fast started. And you want to know what? She was upset with it because she didn't reach her goal. Her goal was to enroll 365 distributors in 2015. So, you know, we all have bigger goals and we just are always reaching for them. That's what makes us leaders in the company, because we want more and we want to help as many people as we can. Because at the end of the day, it's really great making all this money, but what's even better is when someone's sitting right there with you that you've helped do the exact same thing.
I'm sorry my connection cut out, but I think I caught the most of it. I had to hop back on. I missed some of the questions, but I agree 100%. I actually went to Diamond in my first 3 months, and when I started, if you went Diamond in 3 months, you got a $10,000 bonus. And I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, okay. Said my connection was unstable. So I did that and became pregnant, had 2 deaths in my family, one of which who lived with me. While I was pregnant, I was puking every day, and I lost my rank. And I said, this is it. I'm going to make this extra couple $100 a month. And I'm just going to let it, once it's done, it's done. Went to a conference in January of 2014. Yeah. And within 2 months of going to that conference was double diamond again, from ruby to double diamond, and making more than I was making at my job. So I think back to, you know, the quitting mentality, the inconsistent mentality, because I wasn't consistently working my business. I thought, now my people are going to work. I don't need to still do my steps to success. I tried to manage my way to double diamond, and that didn't work. I had to keep recruiting and build it all myself. So, but I lost that $10,000 bonus, but man, when I promoted to double, it did not matter that I lost that $10,000 bonus. It didn't matter. A bonus is a bonus, guys. And
Ken, like you said, I don't understand how you get people to sign as LCs or DTs at party. You do the party pad, but what else do you do? So I am a really good closer at parties, and that is something that you can learn by watching some other good closers or develop your own style. One of the things is your sense of professionalism says a whole lot. So realize that 90% of the time when you walk into that party, no one has ever tried this before, and they're counting on you to be the professional. And do we have any guys on? Okay, all right. I'm going to use my, Melissa, I hope you're okay with this. I'm going to use my gynecology example with doing parties. So when you go to the gynecologist, you walk in, the lady says, sign in and sit down. So what do? You sign in, you sit down. And then when they call you back, they hand you the robe.
Mommy?
okay.
Uh-huh.